Hey guys, what's up? Cardhocker here, and today I'm here with another Digimon deck profile. Today we'll be going over Omega Blitz from BT5. So I think it's called Advanced now. So basically it's using the new mechanic where when your memory goes over to your opponent's side, you can still commence an attack. So it's a very fast deck, and it's pretty aggressive. So it's really interesting to play, and I think it's also quite consistent with all the support that we got in BT5. So the whole deck kind of gels together pretty well. But yeah, let's just get right into the deck profile. Let's go over the Digitamas first. So we're gonna be running one of the Coromon and 4 Gigimons, just to get an extra 1000 power to help you beat over some Digimon, in case you blitz into something big. The Coromon, the draws are nice, but I'd rather have the extra power. Since we are running Shoutmon DX, it does not have Agumon or it doesn't have Greymon or Omegamon in its name, so you're not going to get the draw ones from him advancing. But you can run more of these if you want, since we do have a large majority of our attackers being Greymons and Omegamons. But yeah, I just like these because these are a little bit more universal, and since we are going to be advancing with some smaller Digimon, we want to make sure we don't crash into level 7s. So for the level 7s, we're going to be running 3 of the new Omegamon. Obviously, he has the advanced ability, and also he can unsuspend himself when you Digivolve, so you can get some extra attacks in. And then, yeah, he also has a little bit of protection, so he's overall a pretty good card. I wanted to run him at 4, but I'd rather have a little bit more consistency and drop a little bit of attack power for that. So we're running 3 of these instead. There are some builds out there that run a lot more level 7s. I think that build is a lot more clunky, and it's a little bit more high roll. This particular build that I'm using is more consistent, and you don't brick as often. So next we are going to be running 3 Shoutmon DX. Running this at 3 because it doesn't have Greymon in its name, so it doesn't gel with some of the cards as well as the Zeke Greymon, but it's still a pretty good card. You can evolve this on top of a level, level 6 or level 5. It's going to be 4 cost or 2 cost depending on what you evolve it into. So it's pretty good. He's also very good at destroying some 5k Digimon. So if you have the Zeke Greymon or the Omega Shoutmon in your evolution source, you can pop stuff when you Digivolve him, and you can also put cards into your evolution source, so you can potentially give it extra security checks, which definitely speeds up the process of you killing your opponent. Next, we are going to be running 4 Secret Greymons. So we're running 4 of this and not 4 Shoutmons instead, is because this has Greymon in its name, so it does get a lot of the evolution bonuses from some of the other cards we're running in this deck. We'll talk a bit about them later, but he also has Advance, and since he's a cost 3, if you have the Nokia, you can rest that and make this 2 cost evolve. So if you're playing the memory denial game, if your opponent doesn't have the Tamers, then you can give them less memory. A lot of decks now play Tamers that give them a +2 memory regardless, so you still want to reduce your memory cost as much as possible. And the evolution source for this card is also pretty good. It helps you beat over some problematic cards on your opponent's field. You know, especially for like Hexablow matches. It's going to be really annoying, so you want to have some cards to beat over those Hexablows. Next, we are going to be running 4 of the BT1 Secret Metal Greymon. Running this card over this new one because this one works with the Shoutmon DXs, and it gives plus 3000 power, so make him a 15k, which is enough to beat over these. And if you have the Gigimon in your evolution source, it'll pump it to a 16k, so you're going to be safe from most other level 7s. So yeah, I'm really liking these. These are also very good if you get them early game. If you want to go balls to the walls and just Digivolve into this and swing, and if you have the Greymon evolution source, you do lose 5 memory, But if you do get really lucky and not crash into something, then you will be able to get quite a few security checks in. So it's very, very nice for that. Yeah, it'll make your opponent very, very hard to catch up, even if you do give them the 5 memory. You're gonna have to see kind of what kind of decks you're playing against, but yeah, it's a pretty good card. If there are times where I have used this to swing, and then they're down 4 security checks, so they just kind of lose from there, because even though if you do give them the extra memory, they have no way to catch up, and you can still blitz your opponent next turn. So yeah, it's pretty good. So, whoops. Next, we are also going to be running 4 of the Omega Shoutmon. This is the other level 5 we're running. So if you evolve this on top of a Shoutmon, you can just pay 4 cost and evolve it. This helps you speed up your plays a bit. It does give your opponent more memory to work with, but sometimes it's okay. The other thing is it also gives you extra security checks if you're attacking with a unit with advance. So that's pretty much all your level 6s. So everything that evolves on top of this one will get extra security check, since we are running all advancing units with all units with advance that are level 6. And you can also use Shoutmon DX's effect to put this into your evolution source. So if you have the Greymon, you're going to be attacking with 3. It's pretty good. Alright, next for the level 4s, we're going to be running the Security Check Greymon. This is still a very, very good card. Getting security checks for free is just nice. He doesn't really have any caveats. Just gives you extra security check. It's very nice. Lots of ways to get him into your evolution source, and combo with Nokia. He is a 1 cost to evolve if you have 1, and it's free if you have both. If you have 2, so very nice card. Next, we're running 4 of the new Greymon. So if you evolve this on top of Agumon, you get a gain 1 memory back. We're running quite a few Agumons in this deck. So if you have Nokia, then he'll be a free Digivolve if you rest 1 and then you evolve it on top of Agumon. So it's quite nice. A lot of people don't like to play this, but I quite like it. It's a nice card. There are cards that can shut its effect down, especially those level 3s that have the effect to stop you from getting memory. But we have ways to destroy those, so that's fine. And he also gives your Greymons and your Omegamons plus 2k, so this is another way to help you beat over some big Digimon. Next, we're running 3 of the 1 cost blocker, 1 cost evolve blocker. We're only running 3 of these because these 5k blockers aren't super great right now, because there's a lot of ways. There's a lot of cards that either remove or destroy 5 cost Digimon, but he is still a nice option to have if your opponent, if you're playing against a deck that doesn't have those kind of removals, and it being a 1 cost is definitely worth playing. Playing over the Quadramon. So yeah, running 3 of those. Next, for the level 3s, we're going to be running 4 of the Search Agumon from the new set. You can search for both a Greymon and an Omegamon, so it's pretty nice. Since we are running these and we are running quite a few Greymons, you're gonna at least hit into a Greymon most of the time. And we're also running 4 of the generic Power Boost Agumon from the trial deck. Also a very nice card, just helps you power up your Shoutmons. So not much else to say there. Most of the time you want to use evolve this onto your Digimon in the raising area, just because this one doesn't have any on-play effects. This Agumon you want to combo with Nokia, so you get the free search and you get a free Agumon on the field. It's quite good. Next, we are running 4 of the Shoutmon. We are running this, so you can search for a Shoutmon in a unit with Advance, or Blitz, whatever you want to call it. Mainly because this card is actually a lot better than people think, because it's just for top 5. And we are running quite a few Shoutmons. We're running 7 Shoutmons, and we're running a lot of units with Blitz. So really, it's a pretty good searcher. Of course, you don't have a way to cheat this out because it doesn't work with Nokia, but sometimes when you are forced to hard cast, it's better to have a hard cast where you can plus off its cost, rather than just hard casting this Agumon that doesn't really do much besides from being hard casted. And we're running 2 Mono Dramon. This is just a 2 cost, so it's very good for memory denial plays. And we're running more level 3s just to prevent ourselves from getting stuck in the beginning. But we have a lot of cards that search, like this card can search, and this card can search. So running the 11 level 4s is not too big of a problem, because we have a lot of ways to search them out. And the Omega Shoutmon can just evolve onto the Shoutmon. So this is kind of like a pseudo level 4. So that's it for the Digimon in the deck. Let's have a look at the Tamers and Options. So we're going to be running 2 Daimons. I know a lot of people don't like to run this card. They just like to run 4 Nokias instead. But I feel like this card is just kind of like a safety to hold, and you do have you don't have to play this if you have this in your hand. But this is very good for decks that try to memory deny you. So yeah, it's nice, and you're running a lot of Greymons, right? So even if you do advance with this, you can still rest this and give your opponent less memory to work with. So overall, he's pretty good. It doesn't work with your Shoutmon DX and your Omegamons, but that's fine. We'll still be attacking with other stuff, so not that bad. If you want to run Tai Chi instead, you can. But I feel like the Daimon is definitely a nice card to have. Next, we're running a 3 of the Nokias. People like to run this at 4. You can definitely cut this out for another Nokia if you like, for a personal preference, and then you can probably run the extra Daimon for either Tai Chi or another Shoutmon DX. More flexible for you guys. Personally, I really hate getting memory denied, so I'm just running this just in case. But sometimes your opponent is going to do some big plays, so you might not need this. Next, we're running 2 Gaia Force. Gaia Force, it's just a nice card to have. Sometimes if you have something you really can't get rid of, you can just use this, and you'll be okay. We're not going to run more than 2 though, because it does get clunky in your hand if you have too many. In previous builds before BT5 came out, I was running like 3 or 4, and then you just draw 2, and then your hand just bricks. So 2 is fine. And there's a lot of cards that have protection now. There are some cards have protection now. So it's not great against all decks. Like Omegamon has protection, and then some Craniumon builds have also the protection. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck, guys. This is a super fun deck to play. Definitely, you have to just go balls to walls and just try to kill your opponent as fast as possible, because there are other decks that can help you, that can out-resource you. So you want to kill them while your Digimon are fresh out of the raising area, or if you just keep blitzing if your opponent can't stop you. And make sure to take advantage of the Zeke Greymon. If your opponent is setting up for a big Digimon, you might want to not blitz for 1 turn and just attack their Digimon instead, so they have to start over, and then you can just go over the next turn and just attack again. So yeah, or you can also just do that and attack again. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck, guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know if you guys have any alternative builds for this deck. I'll gladly try to playtest with you guys on tomorrow for the playtesting stream, because I really want to get more games out of this deck. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. This is Kartaku, and I'll see you guys next time.